welcome back to our channel.
Welcome.
We are actually excited today. We're going to talk about something really fun.
Right.
Cryptocurrency, precious metals, and some idiots.
Just land, property in general. So you have three elements.
Three elements, yes.
Okay.
Cryptocurrency at this point was and is been a hot topic. A lot of people are starting to monitor. A lot of people are starting to dump money into it. Elon Musk just dumped $1.5 billion into Bitcoin a few weeks ago or a month ago.
Well, to be honest, he put $1.5 billion purchased Bitcoin, right? But you have to think about it. Bitcoin today was like $57,000 plus.
Yeah.
Per Bitcoin. Which last year was like $10,000. And still people thought that was crazy.
CNN.
But the thing is, him getting $1.5 billion is actually, Bitcoin is $1 trillion cap right now. Trading share, right?
Well,
so 1.5 billion is like a drop in a bucket. However, because he has such a big name recognition, right? If somebody investor who is wealthy billionaire but nobody knows who he is, or he's not a household name, would come and just buy $3 billion in Bitcoin, nobody would just wouldn't be that much fun.
He didn't do it to make profit, right? I mean, he made profit, but he didn't do it for the profit. He is now going to open up the door for people to purchase his cars, the Teslas, using cryptocurrency.
And he said actually if they go to the moon, Dogecoin is going to be the cryptocurrency.
Dogecoin, yeah. I mean, like, look, it's all about subliminal messaging. I remember when 2008, Bitcoin, January 2009, the first blockchain was actually mined for Bitcoin to be in.
My thing is...
But cryptocurrency was killed by CNN 90 times. 90 times CNN said Bitcoin is dead, Bitcoin is dead, Bitcoin is dead. And Bitcoin actually reached into pennies at some point, and now it's at $57,000. Okay. Now there's other cryptocurrencies out there. The other thing that's becoming very, very valuable is gold and silver, precious metal. Copper it's on the list as well, but copper is a little bit harder to get.
I think the attractiveness of cryptocurrency is obviously it's just its digital security, blockchain. I'm not a technical person, so we are not going to get into that.
There's security, but there isn't. But yeah.
But I'm just saying is like one is that, or at least the understanding or assumption of that this is super secure, and once you have your wallet and stuff, and it's just secure password and all that. I think the biggest thing is that you cannot have it because it's not connected to the normal financial and regulated banking system. So you can be pretty much ghost and trade it with anybody without leaving a trace.
Well, there's a trace.
Right, but minimal trace.
There's a trace.
If you do it between yourself, you don't have to. Unless if you're going to exchange it to a money, right? I can send it to you. If you have wallet to wallet, we can send it to you. But that's not going to be exposed to anybody outside world unless if when you're going to go to some exchange place to exchange it for the money to liquidate.
It is exposed. They just don't know who's trading.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So
that's exactly. It's anonymity.
So the trade is there. They just don't know who's behind it.
The
the whole point of cryptocurrency, it was set up.
And then you don't have to transport.
It was to eliminate financial institutions. Okay. To eliminate any bank or middleman to send money from one person to another. So it's called peer-to-peer. I could send him money, he could send me money without going through, for example, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, or anything like that.
Not only that, it's like limitations of how much wealth you can transfer from country to country, because most of you guys probably know. Let's say if you go to airport, you travel outside of the United States, or you're coming to the United States, this is how much money you have.
That's cash currency, though. You're talking about cash.
Right, exactly.
We're not talking about cash.
I'm talking about cash is money, right? So if you want to transport money or gold or whatever from location to location, country to country, I wouldn't say location. You can drive, you can have a suitcase of money in your back of your car and just go across the state line. But if you're traveling, obviously that would be, logistically large sum of money. That would be, and then if you declare it, anything over $10,000, you have to declare it. Even if you're making transaction through banking system, anything over $10,000, you have to declare it and give reasons why, and then they're going to just, maybe audit it, look into it. Unless if you're a business, all of a sudden you want to just, transfer.
Right. You can still do that with cryptocurrency. You could
No, I'm just saying with the cryptocurrency, the thing is you can do that without getting the banking system.
Right.
Exactly.
So
that's the advantage.
So you have a wallet where your funds are kept. This is a digital wallet where it comes with the encryption. Everything's encrypted. Transactions are recorded, so you could trace back where the Bitcoin came from, where the Bitcoin went, how much fee was involved. There's a lot involved in Bitcoins, but just to keep it on the surface level, not a lot of people know the technical details behind it. It's deep. It's very, very deep. I have some knowledge on it, but I don't need to bore you with it. But reality of it is, when our current currency is becoming devalued by when you keep printing money, the currency becomes devalued.
They don't even print it. They're just injecting some.
They're just injecting number.
They don't even print it.
But digital currency, in reality, has been around for years. Okay, because what's been happening in the past 20 years, our credit cards, our ATM cards have been replacing the actual cash currency.
I just want to pull some data quick.
Okay, so when you start shopping with your credit card, with your debit card, now you have these apps that you could use as payment, like Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay. So you have all this now. So right now you don't need to have cash in your hand. Everything's digitized. So in a way, you already live in a digitized currency world, okay? The only difference is cryptocurrency has a different backing, meaning it's backed by a different type of funds versus cash having its own value, meaning $1 is always going to be $1. $5 is always going to be $5, $10 is always going to be $10, and a penny is always going to be a penny. But in a cryptocurrency aspect, that value changes constantly. That one cryptocurrency could be worth 5 cents in case of Dogecoin, where it went up to 8 cents at one point. Or in Bitcoin, says it's $57,000 per one Bitcoin. So the backing of each fund is different. Although they're both backed by federal government, it just they have different
cool things over here. Now the concept of, obviously when they started printing and all that stuff, because based on Constitution, the United States government has to issue gold and silver for currency. That's why you still see the $20 gold coins, which is like a 1 ounce, because for 150 plus years, the value of 1 ounce of gold, troy ounce of gold, was $20.
Yeah.
And didn't change. The reason was because they could not print more paper money than what the actual physical gold they had. That's why all the countries were fighting to have gold, and European countries that had their gold assets stored in the United States, because it was far away from everybody else and it was safe, right?
Yeah.
Because they had wars going on, World War I, World War II. So France, England, they had all their golds stored in United States. Based on Federal Reserve's site right now, as of February 10, 2021, there was $2.05 trillion worth of Federal Reserve notes in circulation. So this means it's actual cash printed, legitimate currency that you can have cash, you take it anywhere and expand it, is actually only $2 trillion. So they just passed $2 trillion. So they don't even print money. Right? It's just It is a digital currency.
It's a term.
It's a term they use. It's been a digital currency because we have tens of trillions of dollars in unpaid liabilities, domestic liabilities.
Aren't we at 24 trillion now? 24 trillion?
It's a lot more than that. If you go Social Security and everything else, unpaid liabilities is probably near close to like 80, 100
at this
trillion
point, all this debt is all imaginary.
And that is the reason if let's say if you're a millionaire or a billionaire and you show up to your bank and say, hey,
I want my $1 billion.
I want my no, forget about $1 billion. I want like a $10 million cash. They're going to say, oh, you can't have it right now.
Yeah.
You have to go and actually get cash from other places.
No, you know what they're going to say? They'll never give it to you.
Of course, they're going to make
They will never give it to you. A $10 million. If you go to, here's the
thing. What do you want?
Please put this to the test. Please put this to the test and film it. If you are a millionaire, you have upwards of whatever. Go to the bank and tell them.
First, if you're a millionaire, call us so we can be friends.
Call them 3 days ahead of time. I used to work at a bank, so I know. Call them 3 days ahead of time. Tell them I want $10 million in cash. Okay? You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna hang up on your face. First, you're gonna call again because they're gonna think you're a robber. You're gonna call again. You're gonna ask for a branch manager. You're like, hey, I want $10 million out of my account in cash. The guy's gonna laugh in your face. It's like, we can't get that kind of money in here.
So what do you need it for?
No.
It's your own money.
It's your money. It's your own money. You cannot have it in cash. They will offer you a cashier's check.
Probably Jeff Bezos doesn't have $2 million in cash.
Honest to God, they're gonna tell you.
Actual hard cash.
Honest to God, they're gonna say we'll cut your cashier's check.
How much cash do you have?
Okay,
right now?
So look, the poor are actually rich because they have access to their cash. Their cash is accessible. Okay, when you cross a certain threshold on funds, let's say you become a millionaire,
how much is the total liability?
You no longer can access that money in a cash manner. You can't walk around with $1 million, go to a dealership and buy a car with cash. You know what the first thing they're gonna do? They're gonna call the cops. They're like, oh, you're a drug dealer. That's what they're gonna do. So your currency has been switched to a digital currency for a long time now. As he said, it's only $2 trillion in currency being circulated. Okay? $2 trillion being circulated in the United States. Think about that.
Okay. Ready?
Go ahead.
First thing first, we said that, so think about it, only $2 trillion actual physical currency. Do you know why is that? Because that actual printed currency has to have some portion gold as a backup. That's the reason they don't have more cash than that.
Okay? That means they only have $2 trillion in gold.
Right. If you go to the banks and stuff, the same thing, like bank has to have certain level of cash, liquidity, right? And that cash, that $2 trillion, so think about it, all of the golds like in the world is around $1 trillion or something like that. So anyway, like a gold, I have to look at that too, but it's somewhere around. So that portion of it has to be backed by precious metal. And since they don't have more than that, so they cannot print it. They can't print it, but it would just go crazy. Like, once the numbers comes out, it would. So we have like a national debt as of right now is like $30 trillion or the U.S. has $128 trillion in unfunded liabilities. $128 trillion in unfunded, and this is from 2013.
And we only have $2
article. When we had $17 trillion worth of debt, we have $120 trillion worth of unfunded. This is 2013. The total net worth of our country is $94 trillion, and we have another $17 trillion worth of debt. So now you go figure, and we have $2 trillion in cash. That means the entire dollars, and this is not just United States, all other countries. Whatever the US dollars held by other banks, other investors, other people that they have $200 cash, because they exchange, right? You go to other countries, you can get euros and stuff.
You know why
so that's all $2 trillion. Just over $2 trillion. The rest of it is monopoly.
This is socialism for you. That's what socialism
But
does.
I understand the cryptocurrency and stuff, and a lot of people dump it. The only reason, actually, I did reading a little bit, I still don't have full grasp of the concept. The only problem I have with it is because cryptocurrency, it doesn't have intrinsic value.
It does. Some of them do.
Doesn't.
Not all of them.
It doesn't have intrinsic value.
No. Some
when
of them
I talk
do.
about intrinsic value, because I'm more of a gold and silver person, intrinsic value, that means gold and silver for thousands and thousands of years have been traded as commodity with the same value, same ratio, and all that.
I get it.
If you just have gold, no matter what it is, where you take it, it has that intrinsic value for being gold.
Some of the cryptocurrencies are backed by gold.
If they're backed by gold, okay, then
some
you can have.
Some of them, not all of them.
Okay.
They're called stable coins.
What I'm just saying is just even those is like a gold stock certificates. The same thing that the United States until 57 had a dollar silver certificate. If you look at silver certificate, so they were supposed to be, if you actually would take it to that bank, they should have given you one US gold coin. Silver coin. Silver dollar, because they're short on silver, so they stopped issuing the silver Morgan dollars in 1935. So after that, we didn't have no silver dollar until 80s when Reagan again started the process of actually issuing for investment and stuff, the standing liberty that they're issuing 1 ounce pure silver. Yeah. Okay, so they started, instead of issuing the silver dollar that you see in the movies, they flip it and all that. Morgan dollars, you can buy them around $30, $35 right now. So those dollars were supposed to be, if you would actually take it to the bank, it's called silver certificate, whatever this gentleman just said. They were supposed to be backed by silver, but it wasn't, because if you would take it to the bank, they would say, sorry, we don't have it to give it to you.
Yeah.
So if you're saying, there's some cryptocurrency saying gold, how do I know? Do I have physical access to see how much gold that they have back?
No, but look, it's the same thing. Again,
I just don't.
Look, cryptocurrency and whatever money you have in your bank, it's functioning the same way. It's just digital numbers being pushed around.
The other reason is just because if the government comes and bans it.
Yeah, well, but that's the point. That's the point what I'm trying to make is digital numbers being pushed around from one area to another, okay? When you make a wire transfer, okay, it requires an account to be withdrawn from. It requires an account to be deposited to. It requires routing number. It also requires a SWIFT number, okay? The SWIFT is the mechanism that moves the money around. The SWIFT basically, when you sending the money out, the bank creates a message in the SWIFT. That message is going to get transferred to the other bank, the receiving bank, saying, hey, we're sending you X amount of dollars or X amount of money. That receiving bank is going to receive that message, is going to put it in their log and say, hey, now this number gets added to this account. But I would like to make a challenge. I want to make a challenge for anybody who has, $30,000 in their account. Go to the bank without calling and tell them I want $30,000 in cash. They won't give it to you. They would say, we could only give you $10,000 today or $5,000. You need to give us a call ahead of time so we could order cash for you to come and get it. On top of that, you take $30,000 out, they're going to fill out an STR form. Suspicious transaction report on you for taking your own money out. Okay? They're gonna report that as a suspicious transaction report of you who have $30,000 in your account for 6 months, 7 months, 10 months, 5 years, and you want to take it out. They're gonna make a report out of it. Right. So this is how the banking institution works. And when cryptocurrency was put in place, was to completely eliminate the third party, which was the banks. They wanted funds to be transferred. I mean by this Japanese guy who actually came up with the whole cryptocurrency.
Well, that's one of them.
Well, yeah, but we're talking about Bitcoin at this point. I'm not talking about any other currencies out there. But the whole point was to get rid of the middleman. And again, the whole point is right now everything's digitized. You have your debit card, you have your credit card, you have your phone, you have PayPal, you have Cash App, you have Venmo, you have this. You have all these stuff that's allowing you to move digits from one point to another.
Value of the total gold in the world right now, as of today's price, is just under $9 trillion. So think about it. Total gold in the world, just under $9 trillion. And think about all the governments in the world,
all debts canceled. Nobody
as
has
the
debt.
corruption has been going all over the West, all other countries. There's not a single country. They're not. Some of them are doing better. Some of them are not doing better. But there's not a single government in the world that is not doing deficit spending. So deficit spending means unfunded liabilities. At some point, you have to pay them.
They're living on credit.
Everybody's going to become like a Greece, right? When I was in Greece. Everybody having a good time, party. You could get loan. Everybody got things, and you can retire at 50. You know what I'm saying? People are having party on the weekend.
Oh yeah, retire at 50. Go to the coffee shop in the morning, play backgammon until nighttime.
They joined Euro was like 99 or 2000, so they got Euro and all that. So Germany wanted to just sell all their, their big exporters, so sell their cars, all their products and stuff. So they were giving credit, and they were just obviously they're having to spend with the hope of that their economy would grow or they would become more productive or technological, which they're not. Greek people are not known to be that for the past 2,000 years.
They do make great food though.
So what I'm just saying is like tourism and all that, but it's limited.
I mean, that's their income.
For the money that they spent.
They don't have anything else but tourism.
And it get to the point that they said, okay, now time to pay the money and interest. And I'm sorry. So you keep, it's like putting your credit card debt on another credit card.
No, it's like dealing with the collection.
Using the other credit card to pay for the interest of this credit.
It's like dealing with the collection agency. Listen, I don't got $10 trillion. I give you one.
No, I don't even have that. I mean, once you go bankrupt, they're bankrupt.
Well, no, I'm saying it's like dealing with
the $9 trillion that I'm saying, $9 trillion.
That's what we're doing to China right now.
Most actual paper currencies all over the world, whatever the value is, or the valuer ones, the ones that have more value, including China. China has been hoarding up on gold like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because the actual cash has to have backup. The actual currency cash, the digital ones that they just keep piling up is like a credit card. At some point, you have to actually deposit the money.
You know what they're doing? They're raising your credit limit. That's what
they're raising the credit limit. Please, just go get a job and pay it back. So my point comes is at the end, gold and silver have intrinsic value. That means the precious metal have been precious for thousands of years, have been a currency for exchange for thousands of years. And no matter what it is, if you put it in a dump, still is gold, it still is silver, you just wash it, it has the same value. Nothing diminishes that.
So cryptocurrency kind of has the same value.
It doesn't have the
same concept, I should say. Not value. It has the same concept because
it will never be the same.
No, listen.
It will never be the same.
Listen. The cryptocurrency concept is almost same as gold and silver because the cryptocurrency needs to be mined. It needs to be found. You can't. There's not an ultimate supply of it. Okay. There's a limited supply of cryptocurrency that needs to be mined and extracted for it to be available. Okay? Once that happens, there's a process and it's expensive as hell. It's not cheap to mine cryptocurrency. It is a very expensive process. It requires a lot of computing power, a lot of energy, electricity. It requires a lot of electricity. but it does have a big reward. It's literally like you are mining gold, but it does not.
I don't put it on the same.
No. But it doesn't. It doesn't require the same labor, like physical labor. This is more power.